Requirement 5, tell what you need to know about pocket knife safety. Let's talk a little bit about some of the basic information. First thing is a knife is not a toy, it is a tool and it has specific uses. You also need to know how to sharpen a knife, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife because it is less likely to slip and cut you. In other words, you do not need to put as much force into using a sharp knife than you do a dull knife. The other thing is the knife should be cleaned regularly and kept dry. Never carry an open pocket knife. When you're not using your knife, close it using the palm of your hand and put it away. When you're using the cutting blade, do not try to make big shavings or chips. Cut slowly and steadily. Make a safety circle, essentially the reach of your arm, before you pick up the knife to make sure no one is in the circle that can be cut. Always cut away from you, never toward you. Never hand a knife to someone else with the blade first. Learn and use eye contact method for handing a knife to anyone else. And do not release the knife until the other person makes eye contact and acknowledges. So when you're handing a knife to someone, you hold it with the blade, with the sharp point away from you. You reach it to them, and then when they receive it, they say thank you, and you release. Thank you. Now let's talk a little bit about different kinds of knives. This is a serrated edge knife, has a lock blade, so it won't close back up on your fingers until it's released. The Swiss Army Boy Scout version that has multiple tools like screwdrivers and knife blades and scissors. And that's a screwdriver and a can opener. And I believe this one's got leather punches and so forth. But just looking at a basic pocket knife, if you'll notice on this one, it's a 3-blade knife, and all 3 blades have different shapes. And each shape is designed to help you cut, especially if you're doing carving, to cut different types of cuts into your wood. But none of these are like made to punch holes, because the blade would fall back on your hand. Now let's talk a little bit about knife sharpening. This is a commercial sharpener. The best way to do this is to hold the knife at about a 20-degree angle and push it toward the cutting part, then turn it, maintain the same angle, and pull it back. And repeat until you have a sharp knife. But the key here is to use the same number of strokes on each side of the blade and to keep your angle consistent. Some people don't like to turn it each time, so they might do 3 or 4 and then do the same number back the other way. But if you, essentially you're filing off a little bit of metal on each side each time you do it. So if you keep sharpening on one side, your blade's going to be slanted. So use the blades for what they're intended for. never play with a knife, and generally, if you follow these rules, you'll stay safe using a knife.